this is Rick Casale. We're going to go through our 6 easy stretches for tight hips and low back pain. And we're going to start off with rotate legs in and out. Okay, so I got Jen to go through 2 repetitions. How this is working is you're moving from standing down to the floor. You're going to lie on your back, arms up to the side. You're relaxing the upper body, shoulder, neck area. Legs are underneath the hips. And then what you're going to do is rotate the legs out, rotate the legs in, and you're focusing on that movement happening in the thighs. So we're really getting a light stretch in the internal external rotators of the hip. So oftentimes what happens if you sit lots, if you have had a hip injury, if you've had back pain, is the internal external rotators of the hip tighten up in order to provide greater stability in that pelvis, back, core area. So what we want to do is loosen them up because that tightness, creates tight hips, but also puts greater stress on the low back. Now, if you're looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 5 each weight. So bring in the feet out, bring feet in. Intensity is light, and this is a dynamic stretch. So it's not like stretching of your quads. It's more of a dynamic stretch where you're progressively going a little further and you're feeling a light stretch in the hip joint areas. Now, with all of these, if you have any questions, please do ask. If you've done this exercise, you can let us know, give us a thumbs up, because I know working or dynamically stretching or even statically stretching your internal and external rotators, your hips is oftentimes a stretch that's ignored by most people, but I find it's very effective if you have low back pain, like SI joint issues, hip tightness. It's something that really, really helps. So the next one is spinal twist. Good. And then Jen is at the end position of the exercise. Now, with this exercise and even the exercise before, if you have difficulty getting on and off the floor, a suggestion that I make is you can go through the exercises in your bed, or if you have like a massage table or a fitness table, you can go through it as well. If you have a very, very sturdy kitchen table, you can do it as well, but it needs to be a sturdy kitchen table. If that's what you have and want to do the exercises on there. Now with this spinal twist one, once again, we're down on the floor, but like I said, you can utilize the bed, massage table, fitness table. If you have a very sturdy kitchen table, that'll work as well. Lying on your back, arms aside, relax the upper body. Now Jenna's going to bring one knee up towards her shoulder, then she's going to bring the knee across and drop the knee down. And with this one, what we're looking for is a lot of stretching in that top hip. We're also getting stretching in that low back area. And then we're also getting mobility work happening throughout the spine. Now, for some people, this is going to be too much. This is a pretty advanced exercise. So what you can do is you can stay in this position and bring the foot closer, and then you can just drop the knee to like that. And that might be enough of a stretch to be happening through here. Other things that you can do is we can bring the knee, bend the other knee, and you can go knee side to side and rocking side to side. So like with this rocking one, we're still getting dynamic stretching. Dynamic stretching through here and low back and some mobility movement happening in the lumbar spine, but it's not as much stress happening in those areas. Now, looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets would be 1. Repetitions would be 2 if we're looking at the way that Jenna had done it. 2. Time would be about 20 seconds. Intensity is light. We've already kind of talked about the purpose of the exercise as well. Okay, now we're going to standing hip flexor stretch. So number 3. Okay, good. So that's the end position. So standing nice and upright, head, shoulders, hips, legs in a straight line. We're going to do half a step forward, half a step back. So the front leg, foot's flat, toes pointing straight ahead, knee is in line with that toe. The back leg, we're going to ball the foot, okay? And then Jenna's going soften the knee, tighten the abdominal area, bringing the hips forward, and then looking for a leg stretch in that front of that hip. And then Jenna's going to hold that position and then switch sides. So looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 2, time would be 20 seconds, and you're alternating back and forth. Intensity is light, and the purpose of this exercise is to stretch out the front of the hip, or front of the hip. And what we're targeting is it could be the quadriceps, but it also can be the hip flexors. And these oftentimes tend to be tight. If you sit once, or if you have a previous injury in your hip or a low back area. Okay, moving on to number 4, hamstring walkouts. Okay, so that's like going through 1 repetition. So standing nice and upright. Got that great posture, head, shoulders, hips, legs in a straight line. Legs are underneath the hips, and then you're going to bring the hands towards the ground. So Jenna's got soft in the knee, bend through the hip, upper body's in a straight line, hands on the ground, and then walking out and back. Okay, so this one's pretty advanced to kind of go through, and it really targets the hamstring area, and it addresses it more in like a dynamic stretch. So as opposed to static stretch, holding a single position for a period of time. So in this one, look to see where you have tightness. Oh, I'm going to get back up. So you might be, so you're in the starting position, you're moving to the hands to the ground. Like this might be enough for you where you have enough of a stretch in the hamstrings and you don't need to do the walkout part. Other things is if you straighten out the legs more, you'll get more of a stretch in the hamstrings. And then you can work your way out to the walkout part as well. So pick which level that you want. If you go with the 2 levels that I kind of talked about, stopping the bottom position, holding, you're doing more of a static stretch. If you go with straightening out the legs and holding that position, that's another static stretch. With the walkout, it's more of a dynamic stretch that we're going through. So looking at the one that Jenna had done and the one that we kind of highlighted, looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets would be 1. Repetitions would be 2. Time would be smooth, controlled movement with a good stop at the end position. Intensity is light, and we've already talked about the purpose of the exercise. So we'll move on to the next one, number 5, foot to hand. Okay, and there we go. That's 2 repetitions. Once again, standing nice and upright. You're good alignment from the head, shoulders, hips, legs. And then you're going to bring one leg up, opposite hand to that leg, and then other side. Good. So this one, it's another dynamic one that we're going through. If this is too challenging for you when it comes to balancing on one leg or bringing that leg that high, you can go into like a standing hamstring stretch. And there we go. Jenna ends up demonstrating it like that. In fact, I'm going to go on the other side. There we go. So you got one leg out front, leg is straight, you're bending through the hips. This is a straight line, and we're looking at stretching right through here. So that's an option that you can go through if the dynamic one is too challenging for you. Now, with the one that Jenna went through, looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 5 on each side, time, smooth controlled movement with a quick stop at the end position, intensity is light, and the purpose is we're targeting those hamstrings, but then we're also working on balance and stability in that hip and core area. Okay, one more exercise to go. So going through the last exercise, this is forward fold. Okay, and then Jenna's returning back to the start position. So it's nice and upright again, head, shoulders, hips, legs in a straight line. Now the legs, they're further apart, they're more like shoulder width apart. Then you're going to get soft in the knees, bring the hips back, bend, like hip hinge, upper body in a straight alignment, moving down to about where her upper body is parallel to the floor. Then she's going to start rounding throughout that spine, dropping the head, hanging there with the hands, and then she can intensify it by crossing the hands. And now again, a little bit more of a traction happening throughout the spine, and also greater stretch happening in the hamstring area. And then she returns back to the start. Now, with this one as well, you might not have as much flexibility and mobility as Jenna. So you stop at the point where you're getting that stretch in the hamstring and in the glute area, and then you can hold that position. Now, looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 2, time would be 10 seconds, intensity is light, and the purpose of the exercise is to stretch out the glutes and the hamstrings. Also, we're working on mobility and traction throughout the spine. So there we go. That covers the 6 exercises to give a go. I think that's it. So I'll do my little wrap up. Thank you very much for making it here all the way to the end.
And here it is as well, zoomed in.
Now I'm going to wrap up. This is Rick Casale just saying take care and bye-bye.